Wow, hello. How are you all? I've missed you. Missed all of you, everyone who comes and hangs out with me here. I've been moving house. I've been settling into some new routines. How are you all? I am sorry that I haven't been here. I've been excuse me. I've been streaming on Twitch every single day. So that's been a little bit tricky to adjust to, which is why I wasn't here last fortnight. But I'm here now. My bird's with me. She's a bit of a gremlin, but yeah, that's not much else. I'm doing my best to get back into it. I have a fun little story about a cryptid called the Dingo Neck. The Dingo Neck. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But I hope you enjoy it because while I'm getting adjusted to the new life that I'm living with my partner, I'm very, very happy. Well, we both are. While I'm adjusted, I've just got some fun little stories from around the world of little monsters and things. Well, this one's not little, but it's not a hugely known story like Mothman or Bigfoot or something like that. So this painting is just a fun one that I wanted to do. Well, it's not that fun. It's not my best painting, but I just really wanted to paint on the day that I recorded this. So I did a fox lady, and I think I could have done better. If I had the time, if I could go back and do it again, I would have done it very differently. But it's here now, and it was fun to do at the time because it was just something to do. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I hope you guys like the painting more than I like the painting, because that would be awesome. But regardless, if you like the video, make sure you like and comment and do all that fun stuff. I will link my Twitch down below because once this goes live, I'll probably be streaming. Who knows? But either way, I hope to see you guys soon, and thank you all for sticking with me. And now let's get into the story of the Dingo Neck. Well, what is the Dingo Neck, you may ask? No freaking idea. We'll get into the story, but it's a wild one. It's a wild one. I'm definitely considering doing an artist's sort of rendition of whatever this thing could be, because it's a pretty fun tale. So, the Dingo Neck is said to live near or in around Lake Victoria in Africa. So that's one of Africa's Great Lakes. It was spotted there by a big game hunter named John Alfred Jordan and his hunting party. That story was then recounted by a fellow hunter in his memoirs in 1910. That account was published in an article by the East Africa Natural History Society, and then again in the Wide World magazine in 1918. So this is a story that it got around in the hunting community, so the hunters themselves took it seriously. It's a pretty wild tale in hindsight, but at the time, people were actually kind of worried about this thing. People were actually like, whoa, there's a monster living in the African Great Lakes. What is it? You know? So they were talking about it, and it got to some big magazines at the time. Now, despite it getting around to a bunch of magazines, this is 1910. So hunting was big. There wasn't much internet or anything like that. And yet there's still only one written description given of this creature by John Alfred Jordan himself, while he and other hunters were telling like hunting tales and stories around the campfire. The fellow hunter who wrote the memoir in 1910 was part of that group around the campfire while Jordan was telling his stories. The description's pretty wordy and wild, so I'll tell it to you like as bluntly as like condensed as I can. I probably should have just done the whole thing. I probably should have just done it quote for quote. But you'd probably get lost in it a bit like I did, of just like, oh, what the hell are you talking about? What's its head look like? What does it look like? Ugh. Get confused. But anyway, I will give it to you how I've written it down, which is as like a 1 paragraph as opposed to his 3 paragraphs of him yelling about this thing. So the Dingoneck was described as being 15 feet long. Its head was as big as a lioness, but shaped more like a leopard, with 2 long white teeth coming down from its upper jaw that could easily slice through a man. Its back was broad like a hippo, but scaled like an armadillo and coloured like a leopard, as well as the head. The head also was coloured like a leopard. It also sported a massive tail fin that would swish behind it in the river, and massive clawed feet. Its feet were huge big pads like hippos with big claws that came out of it as well. Now, Jordan, the original hunter, he claims to have sat and watched it from some shrubs as it swam up and down in the water and just sort of minded its own business. It came a little too close to him, so he panicked and he fired at it with a .303 rifle. And he bolted. He ran for his life as fast as he could and for as long as he could, which is pretty fair if this thing that you've never seen before is just barreling towards you. But once he'd calmed down and returned to the site where he originally saw it, he found absolutely no trace of it. But he claims that after speaking with locals in the area and speaking to people in general, that there had been stories of a giant river serpent and creatures living in this river for, centuries, and that people had been worshipping it, had been sacrificing cows to it, hopefully protecting them from plague, all kinds of things like that. Now, just like everyone else, everyone listening to this, everyone who was there at the time, everyone who read the original articles, probably even the people who were there at the campfire, everyone, including the publisher for the article, thought this was simply a story to impress new hunters. Because why wouldn't you come up with some fantastical, scary story of a beast just to sort of spook them off, Why wouldn't you? But the publisher who thought it was just a dumb story, he ended up meeting several other hunters who have claimed to have seen it, and they were very adamant that they had also seen this thing. Their descriptions were all exactly the same as well, except some of them said that it had a head more like an otter rather than a leopard. One of them said that they saw it sleeping on a log, floating down the river. He fired a shot at it, it hit the beast, and it just sort of slumped into the river as if it was almost already dead or something. But either way, he never saw it again, and he came back and told the publisher this story that he saw it. Now, everyone saying that this was just a story, obviously it got back to the original guy, Jordan, John Alfred Jordan, and he ended up defending himself and his story in an article published by the Wide World magazine in 1918. He claimed his quote-unquote evidence is very positive and believable. His article says this: I didn't do it word for word because it was very, very long, but this is the meat of it, you could say. It lives in Lake Victoria and has not been seen in any other part of the world. Whether it is a descendant of a prehistoric beast adapting and changing over time through evolution and living in impenetrable regions far from civilization, or whether it is simply an undiscovered reptile or amphibian, is impossible to say. But this creature is real. There is no particle of doubt, as the testimony of authoritative eyewitnesses cannot be reasonably discredited. Now, that is pretty much all I can find on this thing. Unless any of you guys have heard about it or have any other information, then that's all I have for you on this thing. I'd really love to draw it one day, and I will record it and do another little shout out back to this video, of course. But really, I just want to know what you guys think, Do you guys think there could be anything behind it? Or do you think it is just a fairy tale that hunters told each other to try and spook them out of hunting and taking up their territory? Because I think it's possible either way. It's a fun thing to think about. It's a fun little monster. But you never really know, I guess. Regardless, next fortnight I plan on doing the Bunyip, the Australian cryptid. And, well, let me know what other fun, lesser known cryptids you'd like me to do. But, really, I just want to know what you guys think about this. It's fun. Did you enjoy this fun little story that turned into a bit of a feud? Or you just, nah, boring. I don't want to know about it. But you gotta think, Africa's a massive place. And a lot of it hasn't been fully discovered, I guess. I mean, I know it's 2021, but we're still finding new things every day. Do you think with a lot of these cryptids there could just be something that we've missed? Something big and obvious that we've missed? You never know. But yes, I hope you all enjoy the rest of your days, the rest of your week. Whatever time of day it is, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you're taking care of yourself, because I'm certainly doing my best to take care of myself. So I would be very sad if you guys weren't either. But I hope to see you all next fortnight, and let me know what you'd like me to paint, I guess, because I'm not necessarily running out of ideas, but I want to know what you guys would like to see on this channel. Because I'm giving you monsters. Monsters are where the good stuff's at, but I'd like to know what kind of art you'd like to see too. Do you want me to paint monsters? Do you want me to paint more pretty girls? Do you want me to paint some buff dudes? It's all up to you guys, what you want me to do. And as a little reminder, I do stream every day of the week, excluding Saturday and Sunday. So I'll be linking that in the description, and I'll also be linking my shop in the description, because I have added some pretty fun new little doodads to the lineup, because I upload to my shop every second Saturday as well. So with that, I will go, leave you to watch the rest of this. There's not much left to go, I promise. Thank you for sticking around, and I hope to see you all in my live stream later.